All right, all right. Well, welcome to today. Welcome to episode 12 of the Blockchain 101 Hands-on Metaverse Challenge. I'm your host, Shifa Ali. It's my pleasure to be here with you on today. This is a podcast that typically is released twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'm here between 11 and 12:30 p.m. Doesn't always last that long. However, I scheduled that much time in for us to be together. In the Blockchain 101 Hands on Metaverse Challenge, this is an education challenge because the world is changing. The world has changed. Things are not as they were before because of DeFi, decentralized finance. Decentralized finance. The traditional legacy banking, insurance, money world is changed. It is changed. And it's necessary for us to get that education to move into the spaces and places where all of that is happening so that we don't get left behind the learning curve. There's such a thing as cloud mining, where they create Bitcoin, create cryptos, right? Cryptocurrencies. There are NFTs, non-fungible tokens, that are of huge value in some circles. And then, of course, we have our rewards and income. Rewards and income. You can make a living on the blockchain. So why wouldn't you want to be educated about it? You can make a living taking on this metaverse challenge. You can make a living by getting your hands on in the process, okay? Learning how to do it. And then, of course, we have community. There are tribes already on in the metaverse, okay, that are creating projects and creating jobs and opportunities for everyone. And it's amazing. So community, you can find a place where you actually fit in the metaverse, and you can create your own community. How about that? And then there's the play to earn, which is huge. There are millions and millions of gamers on the planet, and people in some places are playing games and actually earning rewards, loot, tokens, all kinds of things, Internet of Things, that can be redeemed for fiat cash in the quote unquote real world, right? In the physical world. You can bring value from the metaverse into the physical world and go buy groceries, pay your mortgage, okay? Whatever it is that you choose. So this is huge. This is huge. So I encourage you to not underestimate this moment in time. There's a quote by John Lennon that says there are decades when it seems nothing happens, and then there are weeks when decades happen. So we're in that shift right now, and it is changing lives. It's changing lives, and it's never been done before. It's never been done before. This is the largest and fastest transfer of wealth ever. And so we get to be brave and brilliant and unafraid. Okay. We need to decide for ourselves that we're going to get this education. We're going to get this education, and don't let people who don't know what's going on cause you not to win, cause you not to be where the shift is actually occurring. There are only two zones you can have in your way of being, right? You're either in your comfort zone, where you're used to things being a certain way. That's zone one, right? That's your comfort zone. And then there's zone two. And that's where the magic happens. And the thing about those two zones is that they do not overlap. You cannot be in your comfort zone and also be in the miracle zone. Okay. Doesn't happen like that. So I just wanted to As a way of introduction, again, I want to welcome you to the Blockchain 101 Hands-on Metaverse Challenge as folks are coming into the room, as folks are tuning in. And whether you're here live or you are on a replay, you are welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to ask you to wrap your mind around the fact that blockchain, cryptocurrency, metaverse, all of these new things, it's going to be bigger than you thought. It's going to happen quicker than you imagined, and it's going to be more rewarding than you ever dreamed of. So I encourage you, I encourage you, I encourage you. Today's show and all of our shows are brought to you by the Oneness Wellness Lifestyles Healthy Me Finances dimension. Okay, Healthy Me Finances dimension of the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Centers. And we are here and dedicated to making sure that there is information, that you have a place to reach out to heal your money, heal your finances, heal your way of being around wealth and generating prosperity in your life, through your life, okay? And that's what Healthy Me Finance is all about, because if your finances aren't healthy, then some other areas of your life are not healthy either. So we're happy that you are here. Healthy Me Finances is one of our sponsors, and Owl Media Network for all of your digital media, web design services, audio visual event services. So these are our proud sponsors, and we are so thankful, so grateful that they are with us. So today is episode 12, and today we're going to talk about CoinBase. I'm going to talk about CoinBase and actually give you the instructions for how to buy Bitcoin on CoinBase. How about that? You know, on episode 9, we talked about the difference between wallets, right? Hot and cold wallets. We talked about the Web3 evolution of the internet, and having these wallets and understanding what they are, understanding what an exchange is. How the heck do you get fiat cash into the metaverse? Okay, how do you make the shift? How do you do that? And so today, what we're going to do in episode 12 is unlock that. So I'm actually going to take you through sharing my screen. I'm going to take you through how to buy Bitcoin on CoinBase. So all the instructions are here. Now, if you are a listener and you are not watching the broadcast on today, the video portion of this will be available at shifaharmonioushealing.com in our classrooms, okay? And so it's going to be made available to you should you decide that you want that. But I'm going to work at being crystal clear as I go through this, so that even if you're listening, you can step by step find your way, okay? I'm going to leave lots of little breadcrumbs. So let me do a new share. Let's begin. How to buy Bitcoin on CoinBase. So you can read along with me. I'm going to share this. Now, I do use CoinBase. All right. I have several wallets, several exchanges that I work with. I can tell you right now, the first time that I was learning how to move fiat cash out of the legacy banking world into the world of the metaverse, into Web3, into this new model of reality that we are dealing with as it relates to cryptocurrency, I was confused. Okay. I was like, really? Does it really take all of that? So I'm here to let you know that, yes, it takes all of that. Okay. It takes all of that. So here are the instructions on how to do it, because this is the part. This is the onboarding. This is how you shift yourself from one world into the next. This is how you step from one dimension into the new dimension called Metaverse, right? The digital reality. So first and foremost, the very first time that you buy Bitcoin, it can be confusing. Like I said, I was confused, but Coinbase is one of the easiest platforms to use. Even still, don't wait for the exact moment that you want to buy Bitcoin to start this process. Okay. So don't like, I want some Bitcoin right now. And then you go try to do this. You're not going to get it right now. It's not a right now in the moment thing. Okay. There will be a wait as long as a few days, because your ID has to be verified and the bank funds have to be deposited. Okay. So that can take a few days. For me, my experience was that it took 8 days. It took 8 days. And so what happened is that I made the transaction and I could see it sitting there. I could see it on the platform, but I didn't have access to it for 8 days. Okay. So you want to make sure that when you start this process, that you set aside at least a half an hour to get through the whole setup, because you got to set it up. Okay. So with those expectations set, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is go to Coinbase's website, coinbase.com. And you always want to make sure that in the browser, it actually says coinbase.com and not something else. You want to make sure you're going to the official site, not a site that's an ad. You want to make sure you're going to an official site, because I want to say that emphatically to make you aware of checking everything that you do when you are moving through the web in the metaverse space, in the cryptocurrency space. Let me say it like that, in the cryptocurrency space, because there's scams out there. I've been scammed, right? I lost like $200 in Bitcoin one time in a scam. Okay. So I know others have been scammed, and there's like a lot of scam, right? But I don't want you to be afraid, right? Don't be scared of it. Just triple check. All right. That's our motto here. Triple check everything. So you want to make sure that you're in your browser address bar, right? Like this part right up here where mine says Google Docs. Okay. When you go to Coinbase website, make sure it is the real thing. Okay. So it's going to look like this. It's going to say buy and sell cryptocurrency. So step 2 is you're going to fill in your basic information. Now you want to put your real information in here. This is not where you want to be putting your alias. Okay. You want to put your government name, as we say, all your real information in here, because it is attached to your bank. So whatever information you have at your bank is the same information you want to have in here. Also worth mentioning, Coinbase requires a very good password. It has to be strong, something long and complex. And it will warn you if your password does not meet the strength requirements. And even if you included the uppercase and the lowercase and you put the number and the special character and you got your 8 minimum characters, it might still reject your password. So pick something long and complicated, and never, ever, ever use a password that you've used previously on another site. Okay, pick something new. Now, I'm part of the crypto revolution, and there's a book by that name, and there's a trick to long, complicated passwords in the book. All right, that's the plug. All right, so next, it's going to look like this. Create your account. There's going to be a field for your first name, last name, email address. Then you're going to put your password in, and it's going to show the password strength. Okay, and your state. And then you're going to create an account. All right. So this is step 3. Okay. That's step 2. that where you put your information in. And step 3 is you're going to go to your email address and you're going to click the link inside to verify. Okay, you've probably all done this, seen this before, right? They're going to, once you put your email address in, they're going to verify that that is your email address, that you can get to it. You click the link and it will verify your email. Then you're going to enter your phone number. Use your real phone number. This is really important because Coinbase generates its own two-factor authentication. They're going to send it to you through your text to make any transaction, to do anything, to log in, all of that. You're going to need your real phone number. All right. So for those of you who don't know what two-factor authentication is, the web services for cryptocurrency is very security conscious, very security conscious. I have one site that requires 5 authenticators, okay, in order for me to even get in the site. And I set it up like that, okay, because after you've, been scammed, you don't want it to ever happen to you again. So you will always have the option to set up your two-factor authentication, your pinging to your phone, verifying your email address, all those kinds of things. So that's why you want to make sure that you use your real information, your real phone number, and have a two-factor authenticator. Now, in this case, Coinbase actually generates that for you, and you have to go to your phone, right, to your messages, and get the number and then bring it back to the site. All right. And so I just want to emphasize why it's important to use your real phone number. That was step 3. Now, in the next part of this is the setup of the 2-step verification, right, that I was just talking about. And so you're going to put your country, your phone number. Security is critical at Coinbase and every place else, right? And this is to help keep your account safe. They're going to text you a verification code when you sign in on a new device, all right? And so you put your phone number in and you click the button that says send code, send code. So you fill out more information, and this is step 4, there'll be more information for you to fill out. And this is required by the federal AML laws, anti-money laundering. Get my tongue out of the way. Anti-money laundering laws. Okay. Now, at this point, I want to tell you, inform you, help you to understand that Coinbase is a centralized platform. It's not DeFi. It is not DeFi. Okay. You are bridging your activity now from your bank to a wallet exchange / exchange that is still in the centralized money marketplace. Okay. And so it is regulated. There is a federal anti-money laundering laws. So you're going to fill out some more information there. And it's important that you know when you are in centralized and when you are in DeFi, decentralized. Okay. That is very important. Now, the next thing you'll see from Coinbase is verify your identity. And so this is your vitals, right? Your first name, last name, what you're going to use Coinbase for, what are your source of funds, like where's it coming from, your savings account, your checking account, your money market, wherever it's coming from. It's asking for your date of birth, your address, your employer, okay, whether you're self-employed, what your current occupation is, and it's going to ask you for the last 4 digits of your social, okay? And then you're going to click continue. So in step 5, you're going to deposit your USD into your Coinbase account. And these are the options that you will have. You're going to go to This place, when you fill that out, it's going to ask you where the funds, where you want to link your Coinbase to. Do you want to link it to your bank account? Do you want to link it to your PayPal, your debit card, or do you want to link it to a wire transfer service? So you get to choose. You get to choose where the funds are coming from. And also this will determine where you send the funds, right? Your crypto assets when you're withdrawing from the platform. So today we're talking about how to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase. There's also going to be, I'll do a lesson on how to withdraw your value, your crypto, exchange it from whatever crypto it is into Tether, and then turn that Tether into USD and put it back in your bank. Okay. So again, it's going to ask you to add an account, your bank account, a PayPal account, a debit card, or a wire transfer. So almost done. Step 6. Congrats. We're almost there, almost finished. If you want to leave your crypto on Coinbase, okay, you don't want to take it off the platform. This is as far as you need to go. But if you want to send it to another wallet or exchange, you need to do one more step. So one of the reasons why we want you to know how to acquire, to purchase Bitcoin, how to do it in Coinbase is because when you become a member of the Hyperverse, of course, I'm always asking you to look at Hyperverse, get back to the person who invited you here and ask them, what is Hyperverse, right? It's a membership, incredible piece of membership, okay? And it helps you get to DeFi, okay? Helps you get to DeFi. So if you're going to send it to another wallet or exchange, you're going to also need to complete the profile in the upper right corner and click on settings. So it looks like this. It looks like this. I'm going to come back, right? So it's going to have your name, and then you're going to click on settings. And then from there, you're going to do a couple other things. So you click on settings, and then you click on account levels, and that's going to be in the nav menu. In the lower left corner, it's going to show that level 3 is not yet completed. So you click the box next to verify photo ID, and then follow those instructions so that you can upload your driver's license or your passport. Okay, again, security first. Security first, got to identify that is you. Okay, now one other thing I want to add here is that if you are using a computer that you share with others, you want to make sure that you have a separate profile on that computer that is not linked to everybody else's. Like you're all not using the same Google profile, all right? Or you will compromise your security. So you want to make sure that you set up your own user profile if you are using a shared device. Okay, that is very important, because if your cookies, right, those things that save your information, if someone gets into your profile platform on Google, let's say, and those cookies have saved your, it typically won't save your password, but it saves some other things in autofill. You don't want people having access to your personal information, right? So you definitely want to, if you are using a shared device, make sure you set up a personalized platform inside of your Google. All right. So just a little sidebar, because I know that that comes up sometime. So here we are in settings. Okay. And what you will see here is level 1, level 2 verified, right? Because you already verified your phone number, you already, and your email address, you already verified your personal information. And now they want to do level 3, where you send in order to send and receive digital currencies, you have to verify your photo ID. So remember, this is centralized, all right? Centralized. So this may take some time for Coinbase to confirm. So remember at the top of this, I said that it sometimes, it took me 8 days. It took me 8 days. So sometimes it's going to take days for them to confirm you. But once you are confirmed, you will never have to do it again. Okay. You won't have to do it to move crypto on and off of Coinbase. And then step 7, once your accounts have been linked or your funds have been deposited to Coinbase, now you can finally buy your Bitcoin. You can finally buy your Bitcoin. Okay. So that is the first part. Now, when you get that part done, the rest of it is really easy, because once you're in the platform, it'll say buy, sell, you choose the coin, and you buy your Bitcoin or any other coin that you are wanting to acquire. Okay. So those are the 7 steps. And even though it is only 7 steps, it takes a minute. Okay. And when I say a minute, I really mean days to get this done. So it's always when you are onboarding to any platform, there will be this kind of a setup. And I chose Coinbase because it is the bridge. Coinbase serves as the bridge to get you from your bank into a wallet and an exchange where you can move your value. You can move your funds from one world, the physical world, into the digital world. Okay. And then you can buy your cryptocurrencies. You can buy your NFTs and begin to participate hands-on, right? This is the Blockchain 101 Hands-On Metaverse Challenge. It is a challenge of education, getting around that learning curve of this new model of reality called the Metaverse, Web 3.0. Okay, things are changing, have already changed. And I know you keep hearing me say that because it is the great awakening, great awakening. All right. So with that, I'm going to leave this podcast right here with how to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, so that for those of you who are going to come back to it later or share it with others, it's short and concise. Okay. It's short and concise, just a few minutes. It will take you through the whole process. And we're always here. We are always here at HealthyMe-Finances, the Oneness Wellness Lifestyles, HealthyMe-Finances, to help you through the process. And as you become members of our Metaverse city, right, the hyperverse, as you become a part of that, our community is there to help you. We've got all kinds of resources, everything you could think of. We've got technical training, we've got leadership, everything that you need to be successful in the space. And also it helps you move from centralized finance to decentralized finance, and opens up that whole world of new possibilities that is only limited by your own imagination. That's the only limit, right? So if you can dream it, you can do it. If you can conceive it, you can do it. All right. So with that, I want to thank you for being here for episode 12 of the Blockchain 101 Metaverse Challenge. We have just gone over how to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase. If in fact you are listening to this as a replay and not here live with us today on the Zoom, you didn't see the slides. You didn't see my Google Doc that I went through as I explained everything. But if you want it, there will be a option for you to choose to see all of the videos that have gone along with all 12 of our episodes so far, so that you can actually see the processes, see the information that has been shared. It's always a read along with me, right? Because this is an education platform. This is an education experience in the blockchain, because it is 100 times the internet, 100 times the internet that we know of today. So it's going to take another learning curve. And remember, it's going to be bigger than you thought, happen quicker than you imagined. It's going to be more rewarding than you ever dreamed of. So do not underestimate this moment in time. I'm your host, Shifa Ali. I want to thank you so much for being here. Our sponsors are the Oneness Wellness Lifestyles, Healthy Me Finances Dimension, and Owl Media Network for all of your digital media, web design, and web services, audio, visual, event services as well. You can get in touch with us at Shifa Harmonious Healing, Shifa Harmonious Healing, and also mediainabox.com, mediainabox.com. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. And with that, have a wonderful, prosperous day on purpose. I'll see you next time.